Hello and welcome to Money Pile Monday, where I am trying to turn my death pile into dollars by actually getting it listed. I have 20 items to show you today. To address the elephant in the room, yes, I know I sound different. It is allergy season, everything is yellow, and thus everything is stuffy and draining and it's gross, and I'm so sorry if that's TMI, but let's go ahead and show you what I have listed. So the first item I have to share with you is this absolutely gorgeous dress. This is like 60s, 70s. I'm not 100% sure exactly what year it is. These at first glance look like poppies, but they're not. They're roses, I am guessing. This is a very mod style or abstract style of a rose, and the only reason I can tell it's a rose is due to the leaf shape. But it is absolutely beautiful. This is a size medium and it's a long length maxi. This feels like a poly cotton blend, and it still has its original tie with it, which I thought was amazing. It looks absolutely gorgeous on Karen, so I do hope somebody will give this beautiful dress a new home. I actually picked this up at an estate sale a really long time ago. Not the same estate sale I got all the other vintage clothing from, but in a estate sale all the time. I think I paid like $8 for this. So the reason why this beautiful dress took so long for me to get listed, besides the fact that I have a giant death pile, is because the bodice piece here was separating here in the seam, so I did have to restitch the seam together. But other than that, it has nothing else wrong with it, and now it doesn't even have that wrong with it because I restitched it back together. But it's a white piece that didn't have any stains, so that was a boon. It just needed to be restitched together back here on the bodice. I'm guessing somebody more endowed than I am had this dress and need a little more stretch in their area. Absolute beautiful piece that hopefully will finally find a new home. All right, the next item I have to share with you is this Limar pageant. This has a pin tuck front and a lace mock neck. And the reason why this took so long for me to actually get around to listing is due to the fact that it had a couple stains. As traumatizing as Mommy Dearest is, the whole wire hanger thing I do actually agree with, because this lady actually mostly had wire hangers and it had caused some rust spots on the back. I was able to get them all out, as well as a red pen mark as well. This is semi-sheer because this is very vintage, so it's meant to be worn over top of a slip. Beautiful piece. Hopefully it'll find a new home, and I'm glad it's listed. This next item, I actually have two pieces that kind of go together. Well, they do go together. I have two pieces that do actually go together, but I listed them separately because more is more. So this first, they're both Escada, and they are really cool. And that's why I picked them up. I think I paid $8 for this set. But this is 100% fine wool, virgin wool, and then it has this really cool chain link detail. Now, it's not just a metallic thread. It's very fine wire, actually, and it's woven into this top at the bottom. And it doesn't go all the way across. It's just kind of an interest piece. I just thought that this was really, really neat. And it still has, the Escada on the back. It has all the appropriate things. So this is 100% real. It checks all of the boxes. This feels absolutely amazing, and also texturally this bottom part feels really cool. I don't know why it sat on this for so long. I do know why. It's just because my death pile is ridiculous. And then matching cardigan that goes with that. This thing is stunning. So this is very long. I mean, I could technically wear this as a dress. I would not be able to bend over it all. But this is an exceptionally long cardigan. It also has, it's 100% wool, virgin wool. And this also has really cool chainmail wire detail all over it. So it's got it on this sleeve, it's got it on this sleeve, it has it in the front here. And these are real pockets. And then it has patchwork on the back. This piece is just absolutely awesome. Again, I decided to sell them separately. They're both a size medium. They're both made in Italy. They're both Escada, and they're both in 100% perfect condition. So this actually was the first time I found Escada and a price that I could resell. And I just got so excited and then didn't do anything with it. So for me, it doesn't necessarily matter if it's worth a lot of money to encourage me to list, or if it's a beautiful piece to encourage me to list. I'm just gonna blame it on executive dysfunction and we're just gonna move on. But yeah, I'm really happy that I finally got around to listing those. This, very tempting to keep, but I am gonna let it move on to a new home because this is not really like my favorite color green. I forgot to remove the, thankfully all the tissues I found in this woman's stuff. So this is again from the Giant Vintage haul. It's like she has just in case tissues in every single pocket in all of the stuff that she has. They're not used, which is rare. They're actually like just folded up tissues that she put in there just in case, which I found very funny. So this, like most of the other pieces that I've shown, this is Country Sophisticates, which is a sub-brand of Pendleton. And this is that rayon, silk, and polyester blend. It has pockets, which I just pulled a tissue out of. But this is really awesome. So whenever I am listing anything from this haul, I am legitimately either taking the top or I'm taking the bottom, whichever one I'm deciding to list, and I'm having to like hold it up next to the garments to see if it matches anything. So that way they stay together, or I at least list them together. So don't worry, I'm actually making sure everything gets together. This is actually, the reason why I have to film this is because this sold already. This is Lady Era. It has a beautiful Peter Pan collar, and that's what this swoop is. So if it has a circular, it looks like a regular collar, but it's a circle instead of a point. It is a Peter Pan collar. It does have the matching tie that went with it. This is 100% polyester, and it is also made in the USA. Lady Era is one of those vintage brands, especially the disco time period. Awesome. So this actually is going out. It already sold. I will put this separately so I don't actually put it in the pile to inventory. Another piece I almost decided to keep, but went ahead and listed. So this is another Pendleton piece. This one is 100% wool. This sadly does not have any pockets, which is why I decided to let it go. But this is totally, I mean, this would match what I'm wearing now. This is 100% Pendleton, 100% Pendleton. This is Pendleton. It's 100% wool, and this specific pattern is Drummond tartan. So I put those keywords in there because that is the name of the specific tartan, and that finally got listed. Again, I did go through and make sure there was no matching jacket in all of this stuff. So the next item is something I tried to sell on Whatnot for $3 and nobody wanted it, so now it's going up on eBay. It's a Harley Davidson branded Honduras t-shirt. It is a men's size medium. It does have a light discoloration right here in the front, but it's not it's so faint you can barely see it. But this is from Honduras, which is why I picked it up, because I figured, you know, that's a rare area to have a Harley Davidson t-shirt. So I have listed that. Another item I picked up when I was in California, just didn't get around to listing. You guys have seen this in so many videos. I finally listed it. This is a 4T, so 4 Toddler Oshkosh Bagosh Shortall bib. And the reason why I said you guys have seen this multiple times is because I showed you the hydrogen peroxide bleach trick to in order to treat stains on items that are not just white. And I showed it in a video and just never got around to listing it. So this is now finally listed, and I'm so happy for that. It's going to go in my inventory and I never have to see it again until I pack it off to go. This is something I picked up one of the few times I've actually gone to a garage sale. If you've wondered why you don't really see garage sales on this channel, it's because I don't really get up before 9 a.m. at all. I let my body wake up because I have POTS. If I have an alarm, I go into fight or flight when the alarm goes off, and it'll cause me to like have issues that day. So I just wake up when my body's ready to wake up, which is why being self-employed is amazing. So I picked this up for 25 cents at a garage sale. I just thought it was really pretty. I picked this up probably 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago. I'm not sure. I've had this for a while, but this is absolutely gorgeous cottagecore material. It's only H&M. It's right there. So, I mean, I'm not expecting a whole lot for this dress, and if it doesn't sell, I'm more than happy to just use the fabric from this. If it goes to too many Fix-It Fridays, or if it doesn't sell within like 6 months, I'll probably just use it for something else. But it has the smocking here in the front, and yeah, it's now listed. So my last Money Pile Monday, I listed the beautiful rust-colored velvet blazer. I have a second one, except it's not rust-colored. This one is blue, gorgeous velvet blue, and this is Prestige branded. And this one is extra exciting in addition to it being just absolutely gorgeous because it is dead stock. This is new with tags. This is still from the 90s. It is a 2-button blazer. It has the tag here as well. And again, sadly, fits me if I don't want to move. But this thing is just stunning. Like, look at it. Absolutely beautiful. Like, I love velvet blazers, like the way they look when the light hits them. Absolutely abhorrent material to try to sew with, but if you buy a ready-made piece, absolutely gorgeous. And it does have 2 functioning pockets. Also, thank you to everyone who left me a message in my last Money Pile Monday to check to make sure the pockets weren't sewn shut together. I forgot that that was a thing because I'm so not used to women's clothing having pockets that I just assumed that they weren't real pockets. But they were real pockets, they were just stitched together. That actually was the same thing for the Escada piece that I showed you all. That had its pockets sewn together as well. So I cut those apart. So thank you all for reminding me that vintage women's clothing does have pockets. I just need to free them, set them free. Beautiful piece. Happy that it's gonna find a new home. Now this was a surprise to me. So during the pandemic, a lot of estate sales went to online only because social distancing and that kind of stuff. So I've had this dress forever. And I have it up in a ball, which is probably not very respectful. But this is a polo Ralph Lauren dress. It is a women's size 8. And I finally listed this. And when I went to look up comps, I found out that this dress was seen on Melania Trump. So it is, some people are asking a fun amount of money for it, as am I. So this originally retailed for $398. I have it listed for this amount. And then of course you saw here that I put her in it, and then the picture next to it, hers has the sleeves rolled up. So I paid $5 for this at that estate sale because it was like a lot of 2 dresses, and it was $10 for the lot. So for $5 investment, I'm very pleased and pleasantly surprised that this is worth way more money than I was originally anticipating when I purchased it. But yeah, so I have an iPhone. So the app I use in order to make the side-by-side photos that you guys see is called Layout, and it's a free app. At least I think it's free. I've had that on my phone for 5 or 6 years, so I don't remember. I'm almost certain it's free because it's Layout for Instagram, but again, you have to have Apple iOS. Another Pendleton piece, but this is really cool. It's not a normal Pendleton style basic blazer. This is so cool. It's a slightly short style. It kind of looks like a riding jacket. I don't know exactly. Okay, for you vintage people out there, what is the style of this blazer? I tried looking it up and it didn't really give me any results, and I'm not as versed in blazer styles for women as I am for men, because this is not really a style you would see for men other than in a riding fit. So maybe I'm right and I should have put riding somewhere in the title. But it's 100% wool. It's really, really cool. Again, something I can't wear, or I'd probably keep it just because it's so neat. I don't know why I would keep it though. I'm never going to need to have a blazer, hopefully ever again. But yeah, here's this. Another of the Silk Blend Country Sophisticates skirts with pockets. This is a navy blue and white check, gingham check. Really cool piece. Again, a size 28. I don't have a hard time parting with stuff in my size if it's a straight or pencil skirt, just because of the fact that, again, I hopefully will never need to have an office job again, so don't really need to hold on to that. This is something that required a lot of attention. So I picked this up at a thrift store. I actually picked this up at the Goodwill by the Boys House, and this is a absolutely stunning blazer. And the only reason I'm not keeping it is because it's way too short in the arms. It fits everywhere else perfectly, but this is a long style 80s coat, and it's really cool. Again, purple people love purple, and it's pink and teal and black. And the reason why I hadn't listed this is because the lining needed some work, and then when I actually started to fix the lining, I realized it was way more messed up than I had anticipated, but I stitched everything together. So the back there required stitching, and then I had to stitch together the sleeves as well. And if you're wondering why the lining is a lighter color than here, that is bleaching from sweat. Don't worry, I did dry clean this. I actually dry cleaned this because originally because I wanted to keep it for myself, but then when I finally got it on, it was too short in the arms. So have this up for sale. Really pretty. I hope somebody purchases that. And this is just a weird piece, which is why I picked it up at that Vintage Estates sale. Has front pockets in it. This is from the 80s. It's long. It also has like shoulder pads as well. I think I forgot to put that in the listing that it had shoulder pads. I'll make sure to double check that. But I just thought this was a neat piece. Vertical stripes are supposed to be slimming. It's maroon and gray. Just thought it was a weird, neat vintage piece. So this right here has a shirt that goes with it, but that is currently in the wash because as I was listing, I was also drinking coffee and I accidentally spilled some. But because I immediately put it in the wash, it should be fine. It's just in the dryer right now. But here's the shirt. This is something I picked up at the bins. I finally decided to go ahead and list it because I realized I wasn't wearing it. It was in my closet. This is not going to count towards the free Bronco thing because this is something I had initially picked up to resell, and then I realized it fit me. So I kept it and wore it a couple times, and then I'm just letting it move on to a new home. So I paid less than $1 for this. This is vintage Polo Ralph Lauren in a women's size large. This is like Y2K size large, so it's actually more like a junior size large, but I put the measurements in there. It's a V-neck. This color does okay on me. Like I said, I just realized I wasn't wearing it, so I'm just gonna, I like money more than having another random t-shirt. Another vintage piece. This is Lady Manhattan. So this is 90s to 70s. It's a polyester, a blouse with balloon sleeves and a pussy bow attached collar, and a pastel yellow. I'm sorry that the lighting keeps changing. I don't know how to fix that. I don't know how to do cameras. And then the last thing I'm going to show you is a book to be on the lookout for. So Willow is a movie from the 80s. I have a lot of fond memories. I think it's from the 80s. Hey Siri, when did Willow the movie come out?
Willow film was released on the 20th of May 1988.
There we go. Great. So that's a movie I have a lot of fond memories of watching. I love that movie. And when they announced that they were going to do a TV series on Disney Plus, I got super excited about it. After watching it, I'm less excited about it. They definitely wanted to, they gave it the CW treatment where it's very much geared towards like angsty teenagers, when the majority of the people I feel like we're gonna watch that would be like Gen X and millennials. And they just like leaned heavy into trying to make it relevant to Gen Z and Gen Alpha, and it's not great. It's not great, but because that series came out on Disney Plus, this particular set of books has become more valuable. So this is George Lucas and Chris Claremont, and this is a trilogy that was written in 1996 and 98, I think the year 2000 or something. So Shadow Moon is the first book in a trilogy written by George Lucas and Chris Claremont, which addresses the world of Willow, like I think 20 years later after the original movie took place. And this is the first book, and this is the 1996 paperback. This is a first edition paperback. I personally actually own the first edition hardcover because when I heard the movie was coming out, I wanted to read the other books despite the fact that they're not tied together at all, not even a little bit. So the trilogy is not set in the same world as the Disney Plus character. They're not like based on each other at all. But because of that series, these have become way more valuable. The third book in the series is actually the most valuable, and I will put some comps over here of that one. If you find that in hardcover or in paperback, I would scoop that up. But any book in the series is actually more valuable than you would consider just a vintage paperback, fantasy paperback would be. I would look out for this if you can. I paid $2 for this at a local secondhand shop because I guess they didn't realize that this is more valuable than what they had it up for sale for, so I took advantage of that. But yeah, if you are out and you see this style of book, pick it up. And if you have the third book in the series in hardcover and you would like to graciously give me a $100 book, please send it to me so I can read it. Or not, you do you. But that is everything I have listed for Money Pile Monday. I'm gonna go ship that pink Lady Arrow top off now and put the rest of the stuff in my inventory. And I'm really glad that I have 20 things out of my death pile and listed in my store. So hopefully you guys got some listing done yourself, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, bye. Bye.